Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Or if you are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Alexa. And if you are not new to this channel, you might notice that I'm, like I said in Sunday's video as well, not as put together as I usually am. And that is because today I had my first day of school after the winter break, not the winter break, the spring break. I did not want to go back this morning. Honestly, today I was texting my mom and I told her as a joke that I was this close to like considering dropping out because, well, this morning when I woke up, because I had to wake up at 6 a.m. I don't like waking up. I used to be like oh, I love waking up at 6 a.m. It's like the best time of day. Everything's calm. No. I am now a proud girl who loves sleeping in. I don't like waking up early anymore. So that's new development in my life. But yeah, I'm really tired. But you know, yesterday, it's currently Tuesday. Yesterday spring started at 5:45 p.m. EDT. And you know what that means? Today is now spring, cause yeah. And I thought, why not recommend you guys some spring recommendations? Now you may be wondering, Alexa, what is a spring recommendation? Because there's like Christmas books, autumn books, and like summer books. But I've never heard of like a spring book. And a spring book is kind of just a book that radiates spring vibes. Now that I'm looking at my pile, I just may have realized that most of them I actually read in spring. So that is why they may give spring vibes, but let's ignore that. Let's ignore that. They're just spring, you know? They give off spring vibes for me. So maybe these recommendations aren't spring at all, but just take them as a reason to read these books. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the physical books. What? Wait, no. This is just the intro, so let's get into this video. Okay, so today will be absolute chaos because I'm tired and I keep forgetting things. Like 2 seconds ago, you saw me almost start the video when we were just still in the intro. Like, why? I don't know. But yeah, let's start with the physical books and then let's get on to the ebooks, even though there's like 1, 2, 3. There's 4 non-physical books. I know, me not having 50 ebooks for one video, that is so, well, what I mean by ebooks, you guys know, honestly, if you're not new to this channel, you guys know that I don't own much of the books that I read, because I read like 400 books and I own like almost 200, so about half the books. So you guys know that I recommend a lot of ebooks and I just like pop that onto the screen right here. But yeah, the first physical book is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Now this book I actually read in fall, but I feel like the Narnia series kind of just gives spring vibes, you know? In my head, when I was imagining this book, I was kind of imagining like sunny day in spring, even though it's in Narnia, when like all the snow is melting. Maybe I'm just not remembering this book well, but that's just what I remember of this book. And like, it's very easy to read. So sometimes in like April, like in the month of spring, no, in April, which is in spring, I kind of start getting into a reading slump. Tiny bit of reading slump, kind of. But yeah, short books are perfect for reading slumps. After that, we have The Inheritance Games. Wow, I almost hit myself in the face. I feel like the cover of this kind of gives off like spring vibes, like the greenery. I don't know, I just feel like this book is spring. That's gonna be most of my explanations, and now that I realize it, that's not actual real explanations, but you know me, do I have any reasons for recommending books for specific things? No, I just go with the vibes. This book gives off spring vibes. For me, it gives off kind of like end of school year, but like the last kind of rush at the end of the year, like from April to May, June. Even like end of March to May, June. And after that, this book I did read in spring. So it might be the reason why I think it's spring, but it's also the adaptation released in the spring. So I can give that as a reasoning on top as well, not on top. And that book is Daisy Jones. Oh my god, I keep almost hitting myself with books in the face. But yeah, the book is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. As you guys know, I'm a Taylor Jenkins Reid girly. I'm only missing Carrie Soto's back of her McReva Universe books. Yes, I call them McReva Universe books because he's in every book, honestly. I have Carrie Soto's back right there in my library TBR, like physical TBR, because I borrow too much books from my library. Not too much, but like I have like 5 right now. No. 4 plus 2, 6. I forgot basic math for a second. I also forgot how to speak today. Wow, I forgot how to speak today, you know? It's so fun. But yeah, it's Taylor Jenkins Reid, and Daisy Jones and the Six kind of gives like Fleetwood, I mean, it's based off of Fleetwood Mac, the band, and Fleetwood Mac for me is like perfect spring music, or like Carole King. A lot of her music is either fall or like spring, but I feel like one song that they use in the adaptation is I Feel the Earth Move, and that song is perfect spring music to me. Now next book, I actually read this one in spring as well. That I feel like that's a pattern with most of the books. And this one is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Why do I say that? I don't know why I say the name dramatically after I show the book, because you guys can already see, but let's ignore that fact as well. I don't know, I read this book last spring and I felt like it was the perfect book to match the vibe that I was looking for. And I mean, it's also, I think, her senior year project, and I think it was by the end of the year? I'm not sure. I honestly do not know. Maybe Beginning starts in July, but to me it gives off spring vibes. Like, for me, true crime is spring and fall, but this one is spring. I keep saying this book is spring, but it's like, it's not the season, but it's the vibe, you know? The vibe that it gives off. After that, I only have one book in the series because right now, the others are all shipping from Book Depository, and I'm from Canada, and I don't know how long it usually takes, but it's been about 3 weeks today since I ordered the books, and they haven't come yet, and I'm getting impatient because I love books. I want my books, and they were supposed to arrive last Friday. If you are from Canada and have ordered from Book Depository, please tell me how long it usually takes to arrive, because one of my shipping updates literally just says the word other, like it doesn't say anything. Alright, enough of that rant, but we have the Twisted series by Anna Huang. I just realized for most of my videos where I recommend the series, I just pop the books up on the screen where I could literally just show this book. I literally own it. I own this 550 page book. It's not that big, because I read it in like 1 or 2 days on my Kindle, because I'm a Kindle girly through and through. But yeah, that entire series. Yes, I did read it in spring, but it does give spring vibes to me, because I binge read a lot of series during the spring as well, even though I get into a slump. And I binge read this series through from April to when this book arrived in came out in July. I actually bought this one in December, and beginning of December, end of November, and it was the same day that I bought. What did I buy that same day? Now I have a blank. My brain is blank. Oh yeah, I bought the Olivia Dade book. But yeah, this series, ultimate spring vibes to me. Now we have another book. This book, like, you even look at the cover and it's like spring, and it's from one of the only literary fiction female rage authors that I can read, because like it's kind of basic, but well, it's basic for literary fiction, but like I am a Sally Rooney girly through and through. I love Sally Rooney, even though I haven't even finished I haven't even started Conversations with Friends yet, but this book gives spring vibes. Like, did you look at this cover? Like, this gives me a Canadian spring vibes, like East Coast Canadian spring vibes, aka having a few days that look like spring in the month of March. Then you get abnormally warm weather in the beginning of April, then boom, around Easter weekend, snowstorm, and then boom, 20 degrees. Celsius, not Fahrenheit. But yeah, Canadian weather is weird, especially East Coast Canadian. It's a whole other story. But yeah, now we have 2 last physical books, and then we have our 4 ebooks. Now this last book, it also gives off, it's Dark Academia, and I've heard a lot of people say it's fall, but for me it's a spring Dark Academia, because it's like how there's fantasy for every season. There's winter fantasy, spring, summer, and fall fantasy. Like, I can categorize them. Give me a book, like, if you give me a book, I'll categorize it in a series. But there's not much spring fantasy, and I need more of it. And this book is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Now I think this is actually one of the first books that I annotated when I was in the beginning of my girly era. And this book is, I never say what books are about because I just forget. So I just tell you the vibes, you know? This one is kind of like a I don't know if you guys have ever heard the song that's called Bookstore Girl. This book is this song, honestly. This I can kind of remember. It's about a girl who makes a deal with the devil, I think. Is it never make a deal with the devils of the night or the gods of the night? At one point, there's one of those quotes, like, from that book. I think it's never make deals with the gods of the night, I think. Yeah. Basically, she makes a deal with this devil, and she's like, I want to live forever. And he's like, okay, and every 100 years or every this amount of years, I'll come and visit you, and I'll ask you if you want to keep living, but there's a catch. No one can remember who she is until one day she's in a bookstore, and she meets this guy, and she's just like, oh, let me just take this book. And then when she comes back, he remembers her. He's the only person who can remember her. So it's this whole story, and I bawled my eyes out. It is literally so good, but so sad. Also, is this one? No, for a second I thought I had the one with like the nice, like, hardcover art. I love books that have like nice hardcover art. Like this one, I'm gonna show. Well, this is kind of gonna spoil you the name of the book, but it's the Sky Hunter Still Striker series. This is the cover. This is like the naked cover. Like, isn't it so pretty? And like, I love the colors, by the way. Like, this gives off like, I don't know, gives off girly vibes in a good way. I love pink. But yeah, this series, ultimate spring vibes to me. This is spring sci-fi. Cause maybe it's because I read it in the spring, but most Mary Lou books honestly give off spring vibes. This one, it's just, I was reading it, I felt like I was having the ultimate spring experience. But yeah, that was all for the physical books. Next, we have the ebooks. Not that you can't get them as physical books, but it's just the ones that I don't have physically, and I'm just gonna pop on over the pictures right here. So first we have Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Now this book actually it's set in the spring, so for once I'm right about the spring vibes. Like, it's not just me. I didn't even read it in spring. I read it in like September, but it's ultimate spring vibes because it happens towards the end of the year, towards the end of their senior year. And it's about Wes and Liz, and it's amazing, and they're so adorable, and I love them. After that, we have the Cruel Prince series. Now, this is one of the few series that I can qualify as a spring fantasy. Gives off spring, that one, and The Stolen Heir. I was pointing to there because my head was still like in the shelf above. That's like above my phone right now. But no, I brought it back to the library yesterday. But that series is a spring fantasy, and you cannot say anything other than like that. I read it in the summer, and I felt like I was having a spring experience. Like, you cannot prove me wrong. Next we have the Atlas 6. Now, this one I will qualify as a, kind of feels like, I call it like an in-between seasons, because like I feel like fall and like spring kind of feel like seasons that are just like an in-between, like summer and winter, which are like the main seasons, I feel. I don't know. Kind of like just gives that vibe. So like for me, the Atlas 6 could either, like, depending on the person who's reading it, you can have a different experience. Could either qualified as a spring book or as a fall book. But for me, it was a spring book. Like, I was having the ultimate spring experience. And now for the last book. it's a Christina Lauren book, and now I'm very happy to have a Christina Lauren in today's book, because Christina Lauren book in today's rec, not Christina Lauren in today's book, because I just got accepted for an arc of Christina Lauren's new book that's coming out May 16th. I'm literally so excited. It's called it's True Love Experiment. And I'm so excited because I think it kind of gives me the same vibes as The Soulmate Equation, which is this book. I don't know when this book is actually set, because it's set in California and it's also always like kind of warm-ish in California, but I do know that for me it was giving spring. Yes, I did read it in the spring, so that is most likely why, but it was just giving off spring. I felt like it was like a sunny spring day where like for me, where the snow is melting, even though it wasn't because it was in California, like a sunny spring day where like there's a little bit of a breeze, the flowers are blooming, the trees are the leaves are starting to grow again on the trees, there's green grass everywhere, it's like late April, beginning of May. But yeah, that's how I set the scene of that book. But yeah, those were all the books that I recommend for spring. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider liking, commenting down if you have any other spring recommendations, subscribing to this channel if you feel like it, if you aren't already. Like, I have a lot of other videos, and these next few months are going to be very exciting for this channel because I have a lot of videos that are planned. I have like the next 22 videos planned, and there's a lot of fun videos, not only bookish, but also like lifestyle videos. And it's just gonna be pretty exciting, just life for this channel. And I now have kind of figured out what my ideal schedule like is for YouTube, and I post on Sundays and Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So I think EDT. I think that's what EDT. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you have a nice rest of your day, evening, morning, whatever time it is. So yeah, bye.